So I took about 4 quotes out of this Athletic article. If you're not subscribed to the Athletic, we're going to put some of these quotes on the screen and we're going to react to each one of them. So this first quote is a question from one of the reporters. And he said, when you talked with the front office and coaching staff before the season, what were the expectations everyone had for this group? This is what Tom Gores had to say. We wanted to be competing every day, a chance for the play-in playoffs. We wanted our players to grow. That would have been success for us. That's what we discussed. We knew we had a lot of growing to do. Those were the expectations, to compete, grow, and be near the playoffs. That's how you grow the most. Make no mistake about it, that was the expectation. Bro, like the first time I read this piece from James Edwards of The Athletic, I was mad. But the more I read the article, like all the quotes, I started laughing. I just started laughing. I was like, I had no idea that their expectations was to make the playoffs, because our own GM says, hey, like, we want to play meaningful games down the stretch. He never said playoffs. Yeah. That's news to me. I'm sure it's news to a lot of people watching too.
Yeah, I thought it was just the fans that had the expectations of making the playoffs, because and that's kind of weird too, because it seems like Troy Weaver and Tom Gores, and probably you can even probably throw Monty Williams in there, they're all on different pages. They all have different expectations for this season, but Tom Gores thought we were going to the playoffs, and it makes me laugh too, because I imagine them all sitting at like a big round table, like sitting in some office, like at LCA, and they're like, good enough. This roster's complete and ready to compete. And that was probably just the motto the whole offseason: complete and ready to compete. And it just cracks me up thinking about it, because like, how did he look at this team and just say, you know what, that's good enough. Let's roll with it, guys. Troy, you did a good job. And then Troy's like, whoa. I didn't do enough. You wouldn't let me do enough. You want playoffs? I'm saying we're going to have to take it easy. And we got none of these guys were right for this year.
I want to give a shout out to my guy, Easy, who works at Woodward and has his own show, Woodward Heavyweight. Shout out to those guys. So he had actually clipped a reporter asking, like, what are the expectations? And like Troy like froze up with like, and he looked at Tom, and then Tom like looked at him like, you want to answer? I was like, no, you can answer. And then like Tom Gores answers, and I was just like, dude, that's such a bad look when your GM can't even answer a question, because the question is a tough question and the owner has to answer it. Like when I saw that, because I remember like watching that press conference, but I forgot that moment. I was like, wow, you can't even answer just no, we don't think we're ready for the playoffs yet. Obviously, that's the goal. We want to, get to that point, but we don't think we're there yet. You have to have your owner speak for you. To me, like, that was just such a red flag.
I mean, you kind of got to think that kind of sucks for Troy, though, in an aspect as well. Like, he did want to answer the question, but he's like, dude, Tom is going to hate the answer that I give, because I was not expecting playoffs. So I'm just going to let him take the mic and answer this question. But I do tend to agree with you. That is a bad look for Troy Weaver.
For sure. We got more quotes, though, you guys. Not going to disappoint you. We got another quote from the same article from The Athletic. Now, this question was about, are you going to make any changes to the front office or the coaching staff? And this is what Tom Gores had to say. He said, I think the thing that probably can't be seen right now is that we cleaned a lot of stuff up with our player contracts in the last 2 years. One thing that has been on my mind, and I think it's important for fans to hear, and I actually talked with the players about this the other day, within all of their losses, that we still have a very good future. Number one, we have an amazing set of young players who are high character and high talent. This set of players, and I know them individually, I saw them the other day, we are in a great spot with our young talent. I think 7 or 8 players are under 22. They're young. Number 2, we have set ourselves up in a way that the contracts are flexible. You guys know we had all these contracts that really handicapped us for a certain vision, and we couldn't be nimble. We are also set up with a lot of cap space, and you guys know I'm willing to do whatever it takes for this organization to be flexible. What do you know? Cap flexibility again. You're gonna shoot me in the foot. I'll let you go for this one, man, because when I was reading this, I just started laughing. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
That quote seems like he's still back in like 2021, where he talks about like, yeah, we didn't have cap flexibility. We had those contracts that were handicapped. Dude, that was 2 seasons ago. We haven't had contracts like that in a while. I mean, unless I'm mistaken. So, I mean, what are we talking
about? When did Blake come off the books?
Yeah.
Like 3 years ago?
Yeah. So, I mean, what are we even talking about? For 2 seasons now, they've had plenty of space to do things and to build a winning team. And I mean, I didn't expect him just to like fire someone right on the spot, but that would have been hilarious if he was just on, just at that press conference. He looks at Troy and he's like, by the way, dude, you're gone. Like, you're fired. And this is like, oh, okay. I thought we were still friends or something. But anyways, it's just, I like how he just deflects and then just tries to be like, yeah, but look at all these other things we got. Yeah, we're not winning, but we got young players. They're cool guys. I just saw them the other day. They were playing basketball. They look pretty good. I know we haven't won, but like they're good guys. It's so stupid, dude. It's such a it's a pretty weak quote from an owner, in my opinion.
Yeah, so he deflected the question. He didn't answer the question. And I found it funny. The fact that he's like, yeah, we have 8 or 9 guys that are under the age of 22. I was like, yeah, that's kind of part of the problem.
Yeah.
It's a big problem. Like, you can have young talent, but you don't really have any veterans that are helping you win or helping these players get better. I laughed at that 100% because he mentioned cap flexibility again. And, every time I hear that, I just scream because they've had it for a couple of years.
They have, and I don't know what. Yeah, he's living in a time machine or something. I don't know.
Shout out to Crispy Flakes. If you haven't seen his Tom Gores video, go watch it. You guys will laugh. I think that video deserves an Emmy. I was crying. Now this is another quote for him from this article. Basically, they asked him, "What's the long-term plan?" And he said, "I think it has to be in the near future. We have to have urgency. It's not going well. I'm apologizing to the fans. It's not going well. It's our job to create urgency around it. I don't think there's a timeline other than soon as possible. We have to figure out how to right this ship. The ship is not sinking. Brother, it's a Titanic. Yeah. But we have to right this ship. Something's not exactly right. We have to be honest enough with ourselves and not be stuck in a strategy. The worst leaders don't know how to adjust. We have to navigate and adjust. Whatever strategy we had isn't quite working. We've had a lot of bad luck, tough schedule, injuries, young team, no excuses. Without all that bad luck, maybe we have 5 more wins. Who knows? But we're not set up right now to be a championship team. We need our young crew to grow. What the fuck? It's not sinking, bro. It's not your ship hasn't sank. Bro, they torpedoed you. Like the ship has sank. Like, how can you say that you're in a 26-game losing streak now and you think that the ship hasn't sank? It's at the bottom of the ocean right now. And Cade's above water on a life jacket. He's the only one that's probably above water, trying to keep you above water. The strategy's not working. What was the strategy? I'd love to know.
Yeah, they didn't give us any of that. And then I like how it says there's no excuses after listing excuses. And then again, focuses way too much on the young guys. Like, I don't I don't get it. It's bad. And I agree with you. When does the ship sink? I mean, is it taking on water? Is half of it up, the other half underwater? I don't know. Are people jumping off? Because that's what it seems like. But hey, dude, he's the owner of the team, and this is the message he's giving us.
How do you say the ship hasn't sank yet? Like, what to him was it 50 losses in a row? Maybe it sank. Like, what's the tipping point with him? What's the number? Like,
It's
I
when
don't get it.
it's when the arena is empty and you can hear the players on the court. That's a sinking ship, apparently.
Man, like when I just really hyper focus on the ship not sinking. And then he's like, no excuses with anything. And then he mentions a tough schedule, injuries, and bad luck. I was like, okay, you said no excuses. What the fuck is it? Which the fuck is it, dude? Like, come on, make up your mind. Oh, so there's about one more quote. And man, this one is probably the best.
It is.
It's about him hearing fans saying, sell the team. This by far is the best quote, in my opinion. He says, they can say what they want, but that's ridiculous. Other than winning, and we should win more games, we do a lot in the community. Players, the organization, we do a lot in the community. If you put aside winning, we've made a very big difference in the community. That means a lot to me. I understand that's only going to mean a lot to people if we win. But the underwork of what's happening with our community over all these years is there. We're doing a multi-billion-dollar things outside of basketball. I understand fans are upset, but it's a ridiculous thought. Okay, for one thing, I'm not going to be disrespectful in terms of him building basketball courts around the city, giving money to underprivileged kids. I think that's great. But I think fans are entitled to say what they want if they consume the product. It's a ridiculous thing to say. Like, since you purchased the team, this team has made the playoffs twice and they've gotten swept. This once great organization that wasn't a laughingstock people took seriously. We're so far removed from the going to work 2004 Detroit Pistons that we're the laughingstock of the NBA right now. ESPN makes a post every day from Pistons fans just drowning in this 26-game loss. Everything he's done off the court, investing into the city, I'm not going to be disrespectful about it. But I think if you had that same type of energy of making your basketball team better, fans wouldn't be on your ass.
I'm with you. The community stuff is great, but also that's not the job of the Pistons organization. Their sole purpose for existing is to win basketball games. Like, the community stuff is great. And I can't believe I'm about to say this, but like, the basketball team is your number one priority. Like, it doesn't, that other stuff it's great, but it doesn't matter as much when your reason for existing is to win basketball games. So I don't get it. There was someone on Twitter, it made me laugh what he said. He said people wouldn't care if the Pistons were selling drugs as long as you're a winning basketball team.
Shout out to Kingy, man. He's funny as hell. I saw that earlier, bro. I was dying.
And dude, he's right. Like, I mean, I'm not going to get into any like politics or anything like that, but like, we have set up to help the community. And I don't even know all the things the Pistons have done in the community because like, I'm so invested in them winning. And that is the thing I care about most when it comes to the Pistons. Cool that you're winning off the court, but have the same energy on the court.
Yeah, like I like that he's investing in the city of Detroit, and he does charity events every year. This time of year, he's built tons of basketball courts around the city of Detroit. That's great and all, but like, when fans were chanting "sell the team," I don't that's kind of just been the chatter over the last month and a half of this. Like he bought it for 300 million. The team I think is evaluated right now like at 1.4, 1.5 billion. That remark basically told me I'm not going anywhere. I'm not selling this team. And like if that's the case, you're not selling this team, put that same energy off the court that you put on the court. Invest into the Detroit Pistons, invest into making this team better, invest into surrounding your, franchise player in Cade Cunningham with real talent. You say you want to see this team win. You say you've said for years, I'll go over the luxury tax if it makes sense. Like actually invest into your basketball team, like Matt Ishbia is doing right now with the Phoenix Suns. Like actually go for it. Like if he fails, that's fine. At least he went for it. Yep. At least he had a vision. Like that's the type of thing that I think Pistons fans want. Now, obviously, we don't have the players that the Suns had or anything like that. But I think that's the only thing that Pistons, like if you actually try and you show respect and you're willing to put in the work to make the product better, like Pistons fans, like dude, they are the most loyal fans that you'll ever meet. And they're chill, they're respectful for the most part. I mean, some of you guys are sending me some really crazy shit on social media, but I do love you guys for that. But overall, like just the Pistons community, they're supportive of each other. They want this basketball team to be good. You're 15th in attendance and you're the worst team in the league. Like if you actually invest into the product, making the product better, fans aren't going to be chanting sell the team. They're not.